Welcome back to Hard Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here to help high school basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. So I've got some good news for you and some bad news for you today. So let's cover the bad news first. If you're playing on an AAU team this summer and you're playing in a game and you look up in the stands and you see a college coach or a group of college coaches there, and you haven't had any correspondence with them, you've never had any contact with them, and you don't really have a lot of coaches, college coaches that are reaching out to you, odds are that coach is not there to watch you play. They're there to watch maybe a couple of your teammates or even one or two of the opposing team's players. But they're not there to watch you, okay? So you're not their focus. Now that's the bad news. What's the good news? The good news is there's some things that you can do in an AAU game on the court to stand out and attract their attention and maybe get on their radar. Maybe get on a list where they want to watch you again. Maybe start having that correspondence happening because they noticed you. They said, oh, that player's special, and that player stood out. Although I wasn't there to watch that player, this is a player they can go back when they're having their coaches meetings and say, I saw a player play this summer, I saw a player play at this particular tournament, and they really stood out. So that's the good news. You have control of some things to maybe get on their radar. So that's what I want to cover with you today. Now, before I get started in how you can do that, I like to give you a free gift just for listening. If you haven't already downloaded the 8 intangible skills that coaches love to see in players, now that could be your high school coach, your AAU coach, or these future college coaches, be sure to download it. I'll put a link in the description below. I make a checklist for you, these 8 skills and ways that you can show them off both on and off the court. So what are these things that you can do to kind of stand out on the AAU court and get the college coach's attention? Well, we've dedicated entire episodes in the past to this first topic, and that is you can show off your control. Showing off your control as both a player and showing off how you control the actual game, controlling the defense. So how can you do that? We've talked about it a lot on this channel. You can show off your control by utilizing jump stops, okay? Not being out of control, not leaving the ground 1 foot, getting into the lane, jumping off of 1 foot, getting stuck in the air, making a bad pass, being forced into a bad shot, being out of control in that way. When you come to a jump stop, okay, it gives you so many options, okay? When you play off 2 feet, it gives you so many options, okay? And it shows the referees that you're in control. It shows the coaches that are watching you're in control. It shows your teammates you're in control. Utilizing jump stops is kind of the first step to being in control. Now, something that you can combine with that, I talked about controlling not just yourself as a player, but controlling the defense. When you throw in jump stops and fakes, not just at the end of a drive where you make a jump stop, but every time the ball touches your hands, you should be faking in some way with pass fakes, with shot fakes, okay? Because when coaches, these college coaches are watching you play and they see a player shifting the defense with a pass fake and the whole defense shifts, right? And that opens up some opportunities maybe for you or your teammates. When they see you every time the ball touches your hands or when you come to a jump stop, giving a little pump fake, right? Glancing at the rim and a little shot fake. And all of a sudden you see defenders leaving their feet, okay? Or getting out of position. And it opens up opportunities for you with passes to your teammates or other shot opportunities. When coaches see you under control in that way, controlling the defense, they will go, man, that is a player we need to watch. Another way you can show off control, as John Wooden said, be quick but don't hurry, okay? You cannot play beyond the speed that maybe you practice, right? You can't get hurried up in a game and go too fast, go flying up the court and lose the ball. Go flying up the court, get into the lane, leave from 1 foot, be stuck in the air, make a bad pass, okay? Go flying up the court and travel because you weren't under control, you weren't going a quick speed where you could make a solid 2-foot jump stop and be under control, okay? These are things that the college coaches are going to watch when you're out of control in that way and you're going too fast. They're going to watch it and they're going to say, no, we got too much to teach that player. They're not fundamental enough. They're not a fit in our program. Don't just go as fast as you can just to show off how fast you can go, okay? What's another way that you can show off your control? Your shot selection. We've talked about this entire episodes in the past, okay? Taking the right shot for you at the right time, okay? I know you want to show off to these college coaches. They're here to watch. You got to show off that you can shoot. But just as important as showing off that you can shoot, it's taking the right shot at the right time. Taking the open shot, taking the shots within your range, taking the shots under control, taking the shots at the right time of the game, right? So you want to show off your ability to have that basketball IQ, that basketball knowledge of these are the right shots to take. I'm not just jacking up every shot down the court because I want to show off that I can shoot. Show off the right things. The college coaches will appreciate that and they'll say, man, this player is really under control. Did you see how they were playing within themselves? They came to jump stops. They were utilizing their fakes. They were controlling the defense. They were taking the right shots. Wow, that's a really in control player. That stands out as being a special player. Okay. Now we talked about showing off your basketball IQ. There's other ways to show off your basketball IQ. Okay, and one of the best ways is with your communication. Your communication while you're on the court, your communication while you're off the court with your teammates. Little things like, calling out shots so that everybody on the court knows that it's time to box out on a defensive rebound, okay? Calling out screens on the defensive end, screen right, screen left. Helping your teammates with their defensive positioning, right? Telling them where you are. I'm in the gap. I've got help side, okay? There's so many things you can do with your voice in order to show off your basketball IQ, okay? Utilizing your teammates' names on the offensive end when you're making a pass so that it grabs the attention of your teammate and you don't turn over the ball by passing it to them. Or when you're wide open and you're asking for the ball, use their names, grab their attention. You're going to get more shot opportunities. You're going to get more opportunities with the ball. So there's so many things you can do with your voice that will stand out. One, you'll probably stand out because so many players don't utilize their voice. So just there, you're going to stand out to these coaches that are watching. But as well, the things that you are saying, everything that you say tells them, wow, they understand the game. They have a great basketball IQ. And in combination with playing well, you can bubble up and all of a sudden attract their attention a little bit. And then the last thing I'm going to give you today is playing defense. But I want you to play defense without fouling. So many times you want to show off how good of a defender you are and you start reaching. You start gambling, okay? You pile up fouls. But if you can show you can get down in a stance, move laterally, and defend one-on-one without fouling, that's a great start. But I also want you to show off your defense within the scheme of your team. If you're the player that's always, if you're a one, unless your coach has told you to be a one-man press, and you're always the player back and leaving all the other teammates on the lurch because you're gambling in the backcourt and you're trying for steals and you miss the steal and now all of a sudden it's 5-on-4. You don't want to be that player, okay? You don't want to be the player that's always gambling on the passes and not utilizing the right footwork and you're all of a sudden out of position, you're leaving your teammate in the lurch, okay? You don't want to be the player that's always stuck to your man unless your coach has said, hey, no touch this player and you're going to chase him everywhere. But you want to show the coaches, I understand how my defense is part of a bigger scheme of team defense. It doesn't matter if you're playing zone, doesn't matter if you're playing man, doesn't matter if you're pressing. Just play your role within the scheme of the defense that you're playing and understand that role and show that off. So defend, but you don't show off your defense by gambling, fouling, getting out of position. You show off your defense by getting in a stance, communicating, being in the right position, guarding ball when you're on ball, being help side, all of that, okay? So show off your defense in the right way, again, under control. So these are some things that you can do that you should focus on when you are in warm-ups for your AAU game, going out there, you glance up and you see, oh wow, there's 3 college coaches there. I haven't talked to any of them. I really need to get on their radar. This is a great opportunity for me. How am I going to do that? Play under control, show off your basketball IQ, and defend without fouling within the scheme of what your team is trying to accomplish. You do that, you're going to get on some of those, some of the radars of these college coaches. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give me a like, give me a comment. And until next time, remember to play hard, play smart, and play together. See you next time.